Generally, superconductors are classified into two categories depending on their behavior under the influence of external magnetic field when transition is made from superconducting state to normal state. Type 1 superconductors and type 2 superconductors. Type 1 superconductors are also called as soft superconductors. Type 2 superconductors are called as hard superconductors. In type 1 superconductor, as the critical field is reached, the entire specimen enters into the normal state. Simultaneously, the resistivity returns, magnetization vanishes, and the field penetrates into the specimen. So this is what happens in the type 1 superconductors when you apply the external magnetic field. Till the magnetic field is less than critical field, the magnetization produced will be of same magnitude but opposite direction. So this magnetization cancels the effect of external magnetic field, and the external magnetic field lines are not allowed to penetrate into the specimen, and the specimen remains in the superconducting state. But when the external magnetic field becomes greater than critical field, the field lines start penetrating into the material and the specimen gets transformed into the normal state from the superconducting state. So when the external field is greater than critical field, the resistivity will return, magnetization will vanish, and the field lines will start penetrating into the specimen. In type 2 superconductors, the transition from superconducting state to normal state is gradual. And for this type 2 superconductors, there are two critical magnetic fields, lower critical field Hc1 and upper critical field Hc2. So this is what happens in type 2 superconductors. Till the external field is less than critical field 1, that is lower critical field, the magnetization produced will be of same magnitude as the external magnetic field and opposite direction, and therefore it will cancel the effect of external field and the material will be in the superconducting state. The magnetic field lines are not allowed to penetrate into the specimen. When the external field becomes greater than the lower critical field, then the magnetization starts reducing now. So unlike type 1 superconductors, here the magnetization doesn't drop to zero suddenly, but it reduces gradually. So between this Hc1 and Hc2, the magnetic field lines partially penetrate into the material. The superconducting properties are still maintained, but the partial penetration of field lines occurs. So here we can say that the specimen is in the mixed state. So some superconducting properties are shown and some normal state properties are shown. When the external field becomes greater than Hc2, the material enters into the normal state. So now the resistivity will return, magnetization will vanish, and the magnetic field lines will totally penetrate into the specimen. So we have seen type 1 superconductors exhibit the Meissner effect in full. Below the critical field, the specimen is in the superconducting state and the magnetic field lines are totally excluded. For this type 2 superconductors, below lower critical field, that is below Hc1, the specimen is in the superconducting state, that is magnetic flux is completely excluded. Between Hc1 and Hc2, the magnetic flux penetrates partially in the body of the specimen, and the specimen is in the mixed state and exhibits superconducting properties. So in the mixed state, some superconducting properties still remain. Type 1 superconductors are called as soft superconductors, as the superconductivity is destroyed very easily at low Hc values, low critical field values. And in type 2 superconductors, at upper critical field Hc2, the magnetization vanishes and the specimen turns into the normal state. Thus, in type 2 superconductors, superconductivity is retained till a large magnetic field is reached, because Hc2 will be comparatively very large with Hc1 or Hc in type 1 superconductors. Hence they are called as hard superconductors. Pure specimens of most superconducting materials like lead, tin, mercury, etc. are usually type 1 superconductors. They have very low critical field values, that is of the order of 0.1 Weber per meter square. And generally alloys and transition metals with high electrical resistivity exhibit this type 2 superconductivity. Typical value of upper critical field is very large as compared to lower critical field and the critical field in case of type 1 superconductors. So these are some of the differentiating points between type 1 superconductor and type 2 superconductors. So the type 1 superconductors are usually elements, and you can see the critical field is very small for type 1 superconductors. For niobium it is 0.098 Weber per meter square. And type 2 superconductors are usually compounds, alloys, and the critical field, the upper critical field rather, is comparatively very high as compared to the critical field in case of type 1 superconductors. So because of the small value of critical field, type 1 superconductors are called as soft superconductors, because superconductivity can be easily destroyed by applying a small magnetic field, and type 2 superconductors need a large magnetic field in order to destroy the superconductivity completely. So type 2 superconductors are called as hard superconductors. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then please subscribe to the channel so that you will get timely intimation of new videos uploaded to the channel. Thank you very much.